Alright, so I just watched the video and made a couple of notes. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how this works. We're going to open up a new Unity project and import our files. So new project. I don't care what it's named. I'm going to pull up our folders that we're going to bring in, the editor and scripts folders. Now this is with new updates on them, so we're not going to get a lot of the errors that we were getting before. So I'll drag them in, and it did give me a warning, but no errors. I'm going to go through and work on these warnings. But for now, we need something that will work, because ostensibly I'm going to get paid, and I'm going to get paid for something that I actually did, because that's what's ethical. Alright, so with that, we'll get the Anim School, the Event Manager. It opens up without a problem. We do have one problem that's still occurring. Well, we have two. I'll show you what those two problems are. So when I hit close, before it was giving me an error. This time it is not. So I'm still going to have to look into that, figure out why it was giving me an error and why it's not now. But it should have created a new folder, and in that folder it should have the yes, here it is, the Anim School folder. It just hasn't shown up in the inspector yet, but it will be there. It is there. Ah, there it is. Okay, so let's look at this. Every time I close it or move something around, it says saving changes. This is how you can tell that changes are being saved to the XML document. Okay. So let's create two objects. 3D objects. Let's create a cube. And let's create a capsule. Move the capsule away. And let's come in now, create an event using these objects. New event. Now something that, that Isaac said is that you cannot move keyframes. Let me show you that you can move keyframes. This has always been the case. What you want to do is move the mouse so that you get this resize looking icon on your mouse pointer, and then you can click and drag it around. Down here you can select your keyframe. So if you have multiple keyframes and you want to select the first one, then you can get the big box on the bottom and that selects it. The line on the top, kind of hard to pick, but you grab that and you can move the keyframe around. Alright, now it is a little bit buggy. We need to fix that. But we can also come in here and move the keyframe using this seconds. We can also go into Find Edit, move it by milliseconds. Now you can't see that quite well enough. Okay, so you have milliseconds, you have seconds, and you have minutes. Now your timeline length also has the same setup. You can edit it in seconds, or you can edit in milliseconds, seconds, and minutes. Okay, so let's set that back to 10 seconds. Okay, we want this to be 0. Alright, so let's create an event. Let's set this at 0 seconds. So what will have happen is when these two objects are within 2.5 meters, they will do something. So let's drag the cube and drag the capsule. You see now that I have cube and capsule. Okay, less than 2.5 meters. Fantastic. Let's create another keyframe and put it at 2 seconds. And let's make the timeline only 2 seconds long. When the event plays, it will play the entire timeline. So even if you don't have a keyframe at the end of the timeline, it will still keep playing. So I set the timeline length to 2 seconds so that it will stop at 2 seconds rather than keep going afterward. Okay. I'm going to create another keyframe here and another keyframe here. I'm going to set this keyframe to 1.8 seconds. I'm going to set this keyframe to 0.2 seconds. Fantastic. You'll see why here in a minute. I'm going to create a camera event on all of them. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in the main camera for all of these. Camera event, main camera, camera event, main camera, and finally the last one, camera event and main camera. Okay, so I'm going to set the position. If we come into the main camera, we can see its current position is 0, 1, -10. So I'm going to do 0, 1, and -10. I'm going to come to the very last frame and go -10, 1, and 0. Now, this is why the reason that you were unable to get the event to occur is because the keyframe for the translation was not set. So to set it, you see this black circle on translation. I'm going to click it. Now it is green. When I come over to this keyframe shows it as red. So I'm going to click it. It is now green. I come over here. It's red. And when I hover over the red circle, you see that these two keyframes up here will turn yellow. That means those keyframes are keyed for that event. When I come down to rotation, which is black, it doesn't show anything. Okay? So click that, that is green. Come over here, click it, it is green. Fantastic, so now they're all green. If I unselect this, because it is now blue, it's blue because it is between keyframes. So this is blue. So it's between keyframes that have that set. Okay? So set those to green. Now let's set the camera position here to y of 1. Let's make the z now -1. Let's come over here, y of 1, and z of -1. Okay? Now let's look at our console. You see all these times that saving changes? It means every time I make a change over here, let's say I select this keyframe, it saves changes. It saves changes constantly, always updating your XML document. All right. Let us now. So we have our event. It's set so that when the cube and the capsule are close, they'll have things happen. Let's name this event open door. Okay? And we'll close that. All the changes are saved automatically. Let's move this a little bit farther away so it doesn't automatically trigger. Now this needs to be able to move, because we're going to have the capsule be the mover. So it needs to be able to move. Right now, it will do nothing. Right? Let's actually move this over here to 0, 0. Here we go. This needs to be 0. Okay. And yeah, let's make this 5. Okay. Fantastic. So we need to give this a script. Let's create one right here. Create C# script. We'll make this movement. Okay. We'll edit this. in our script editor. Fantastic. All right. Transform. Come on. Transform. Translation. Translate. Okay. New vector 3. Input. Get access. Zonto. 0. And input. Get access. Vertical. That should do it. Let's save. Come back in. And attach it to the capsule. Now it should run properly. See, when I come in close to this box, it moves the camera in. Fantastic. All right, what else was I supposed to show you? So, yes, I need to show you that at some point. Unfortunately, I have a trial version of a video recording software that only does 15 minutes, and I'm at 12 minutes now. So I can't do that quite yet. All right, how to make events stick, we got that covered. How to make the keyframes work and move around, we got that. Events play every time the trigger conditions are met. Let's view that real fast. So, when I come in, I'm within the trigger conditions, and I don't move, it just plays over and over. Okay? Let's come back into the M school. And let's say I deselect this one. Okay? So it will no longer trigger that. And I come in and play. All right, so it still comes in, but it comes in a lot slower because it's not using that first keyframe. Does that make sense? It's as if the keyframe was deleted. All right, come back in again, come over here, and unselect this or deselect this keyframe, okay? And hit play again. See how it acts as if it's never going to play? This is what you were getting with Josh trying to make it work. He was forgetting to select that black circle and make it green. All right, fantastic. That should just about do it.